Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gems Before Friends. I'm Mockingbird, and I'm here with my lovely co-hosts, Queen Amg
Hello.
and Morbid Plum.
Hello.
And today, we're got a couple topics we're going to talk about. The main one is going to be that Behavior did their anniversary live stream at Pax East, and we're going to be talking about all the fun reveals we got there. But I wanted to take us on a non-DVD related topic. We've actually talked about this game before because it is slightly related to DVD. That is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep.
Did y'all read the press release? I'm just curious. I didn't ask y'all.
No,
I
I
have
didn't.
not.
Okay, I want to read y'all the press release. But summary, spoilers, Gun Interactive is not going to be updating TCM anymore. They basically have abandoned it. They had a different dev team come in and try to keep up with everything. But yeah, they're basically abandoning it. But I want to read y'all this press release because I think it's something else. And it's, I think, rubbed a lot
Uh-oh.
of TCM players the wrong way.
Mhm.
Because the game is not like dying. It has a player base. This is what Gun Interactive shared on their website on May 13th. It says the team has news to share about what to expect in the future for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just a couple years ago, if you sat down and asked anyone here at Gun Interactive what would be a dream project for them, you'd hear them say the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a pivotal film for any horror lover, innovative, indie, and artistic. Gun brings that same spirit to making games. Being able to see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre get into the hands of players is one of the proudest accomplishments we've had as a studio. We feel proud of the game we've made, and we're happy that we're at a point where we feel the Texas Chainsaw Massacre has reached its full potential. From the very beginning, we've always had a clear and concise vision for this game. We wanted to push the envelope on multiplayer asymmetrical horror, shed light on this iconic film to a newer generation, and place folks into the beautiful but macabre world of Muerto County, and we feel we have achieved that. For instance, telling the story of Maria Flores and her friends while bringing horror icons into the franchise like Kane Hodder, Barbara Crampton, Scout Taylor Compton, and Skeet Ulrich was incredibly rewarding and important to us. While creating something new, we still sought to honor the 1974 film authentically, working from Kim Henkel's character Bible, as well as bringing back franchise favorites Bill Moseley and Ed Neal. And at this point, we feel that we have seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre fully realized. With that being said, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre will not be receiving any further future content or support. This means that there will be no more DLC, balance updates, or bug fixes after our upcoming May patch. You can still expect a few more patches in the future in order to transition towards peer-to-peer matchmaking. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre will still be playable and is not being delisted from storefronts. Our community team will continue to interact with our players as we continue to celebrate the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with all of you who love this game just as much as we do. As a creative studio, it's imperative to communicate that we've seen this vision through to the natural creative end. We are a scrappy group of horror heads and artists continuously working on bringing cinematic experiences to you all. We appreciate the folks who understand the vision we are bringing to the asymmetrical multiplayer horror space because, let's face it, it may not be for everyone. But those who get it, those who have widened their gaming circles to play the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, those who have reveled in the terror, horror, and beauty of this world with their friends, keep us motivated and ready to continue to do what we do best, make your favorite horror games. We wouldn't have it any other way. What's next for Gun? Stay tuned.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stay
tuned.
Can you guess why this rubbed people the way?
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, anyone?
Mhm.
So, I mean, I didn't fully
I feel abandoned.
We didn't really play this game too much, and I've only lightly paid attention to stuff going on in the game. But the full potential thing is bullcrap, basically, because
Yeah.
Not at all.
they did finish releasing everything for their content pack. So there was basically like a subscription or a pack you could buy where they released cosmetics and stuff over time. But apparently they have a hair pack, like hair cosmetics that were supposed to come out, and they were like data mined, like they're done and they're not going to release those apparently. And there's been like issues on and off with the game with the balancing, but no one really believes it's reached its full potential.
Yeah.
Basically, what I've heard is that Gun couldn't keep up with a live service game. They couldn't keep up with the updates needed and the content to keep going, basically, is my
I
understanding.
believe that. That's what I think.
So I know we didn't really
It's
play it,
sad.
but yeah, it's kind of sad because it's not even, I don't know if it's even reached 2 years from
I
release.
don't think so.
Or that it's right under 2 years. But yeah, they've already abandoned it. I've also heard stuff about Friday the 13th, another one we didn't really get to play, that it had issues as well. But then a lot of it got pushed, or the blame got pushed to like the whole licensing issues, which
Yeah.
were legit issues. But
Mhm.
I've also heard there was like development issues with Friday the 13th as well. So
She's also like a beloved kind of cult favorite, which is officially gone now
yeah, you can't play Friday the 13th
at all.
anymore.
Yeah.
I know. Sad.
So yeah, they're going to move away from dedicated servers and go from peer-to-peer matchmaking. But I will just say this does not make me want to ever buy another game from Gun Interactive, or at least not a multiplayer game. I don't know if they ever do like a story-based video game, maybe. But as far as like an asymmetrical horror game, I will be very reluctant to buy it in the future. Oh, and the
I
other
agree.
controversial thing is they just put it on PlayStation Plus. So apparently they recently had an event that brought a lot of new people in, and then they put it on PlayStation Plus. Now they have a ton of new people, and now they're abandoning it. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't
sucks.
like make any sense as a business like decision, because they could have put out more cosmetics like after these events and putting it on PlayStation Plus and got, made some sales that way, made some money that way. But they just decided to say they're out, which is very weird.
I mean, it was popular when it came out, so I don't see if them using that excuse of like, oh, well, it just wasn't as popular as we thought, so we're just not going to update it.
Yeah.
So I don't. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, the other point I've heard is that there is a solid player base to TCM, but like there have also been other asymmetrical games coming out, like Killer Clowns, and Killer Clowns doesn't have as big of a player base as TCM, but it's still putting out new content. Like they're about to put out, I think it's a bunch of cosmetics for their 1-year anniversary. But anyway, they're still updating their game, and they have a smaller like player base.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
mean,
like,
I remember
why can't you keep up?
exactly. Yeah, and I remember when we first started playing it, it was so buggy.
Yes.
And they were it seemed like they were slow to put out updates for it. And I think, like you said, the theory is that they just couldn't keep up with it. And I 100% believe that.
Yeah, and there's some other controversial stuff that happened earlier, not recently. There was a time, and I did see this on Twitter, where their like devs were arguing with people in the community. Like it was bad. Like I don't really remember all the specifics, but it was like they were getting really defensive and arguing with people on Twitter and Reddit, and I was like, this is not how you handle PR.
Yeah.
It was not appropriate in any way. I remember reading some of the tweets. I was like, this is a big no.
They make DVD look great.
Yeah. Well, it's like they were arguing with like their customers basically instead of listening, and it wasn't really like the ones I read were not like players like totally trashing the game or anything. It was just things they wanted and stuff.
I was like, they're bringing up good points, I think, probably. I didn't see all of them, but it was just like, hey, this isn't working. Like, it's something you need to address, but you're not. And we're just letting you know, like, hey, the game's not playable. as is, and I guess they didn't like that.
Well, I think a lot of it was when it came out, it was like, oh, fun thing to play. Because one, you got to play killers with your friends, right? Which is something that a lot of people were wanting to do. But a lot of the issues were it came out, it only had a couple maps that had minimal variations. So as I don't know what they're calling the survivors.
Victims, I believe.
I
As
think
the
they were
victims,
victims.
Family and victims, I believe.
family and victims. So as the victims, like once you knew where things were, there were like speed runs of how fast they could get out
Yeah.
of like the matches. And it was just like I think sometimes under a minute, like once you knew where stuff was. So there wasn't a whole lot of variation. And then in family, if you were good luck getting out. Like it felt very like there wasn't a whole lot of balance. Also, as playing victims, trying to get people to talk to you because it did have in-game voice. If you were victims, you could talk to each other just like the family could talk to each other. But I think on both sides, just trying to get people to talk to you. Like, what's the point of voice chat? Most people are muted. No one was communicating unless you were playing with like friends.
Yeah, and
So
some people choose not to, and then some people are just not set up with a mic either. Is the other problem. So
it may be like solo queue and DVD.
I know,
like,
but it's so
this
funny
isn't so bad.
because that was like a big ask with DVD is being able to communicate, right? So they put it in their game, which we were like, oh, that's so cool. And then I'm like, okay, well, no one's talking. But
Yeah, and then no one utilized it.
Well, it was a big part of Friday the 13th, the voice chat.
Yeah, I think
that's where it started with Friday the 13th, and people enjoyed it in that one. But in that one, you only had one killer. You had just Jason. So
yeah.
I think with the victims, it was just more fun in that
I liked
game.
being a victim in that game more than Texas Chainsaw.
I liked playing family. I thought that was fun. But
Well, no, I meant like on playing Friday the 13th. I liked playing as a victim in that game. I know it's a little different, but I enjoyed it more than playing victim in that one. I would much rather play killer. Yeah, Texas Chainsaw as a survivor, whatever, sucked.
Yeah, there was, people would speedrun. The other issue, I don't know if they ever fixed it because we didn't keep playing it. Like early on, you could door stun lock to kill the family, like doors by opening and closing them really fast. It was like kind of broken too. There was just some broken stuff, but nothing like game killing. And I think this is just
I feel like
can't keep up.
I feel like it was all fixable.
I agree.
But I think they just couldn't keep up with the fixes that needed to be made and the improvements and the bugs and content because they did sell this like content pack, so they had to deliver on that as well. And I think they just kept getting behind because I know for the last several months players have been wondering when's the update, when's the patch. Like I think it's been very, very quiet recently until they got this update, and then it's like it's shutting down.
We have an update. We're quitting. And I mean, I don't know what goes into making a game. I know it's a lot, but I figure it was a pretty big studio. It's not like it was an indie game.
Well, see, and I don't know all the ins and outs because they were working with, I think it's Sumo. They have like
Sumo Nottingham.
Yeah, but they're not the developers now. Like they left, and I don't know if it was a contract thing. This is where I'd have to do more research. So they have another development team in there now. I think it's just with these multiplayer live service games, it's a lot of commitment and it's a lot of work. Whereas if you just put out like basically any other game, like a story-based game, you make the game, you put it out, and there might be some bug fixes you put in, but then you're kind of done, like project's done. Where like with DBD, TCM, Killer Clowns, and any like live service game, it's just continual updates, and
I feel like the smallest thing. Yeah, I think the smallest thing can break your game too.
Yeah.
Or your code. So I do get it, but also it's like, why?
But yeah, I just wanted to kind of bring that up because we have talked about TCM before, and this was really probably the biggest competition to DVD.
I was going to say, this is like the only other
Mhm.
game out there that was
A
like
lot of
close-ish.
content creators played it when they came out, but they got kind of bored fast because
Mm.
once you got those maps down, it was kind of like, well, it loses the fun.
Yeah. And looking on, like, after Googling it or searching it, it seems like it had bad reviews anyway.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Mm.
IGN gave it a 6 out of 10
Well,
when it was released. So,
there's a couple of channels I watch on YouTube that were still playing it. So I think
yeah.
there is
I mean,
like
it was.
a player base to it
Oh,
that
yeah,
loves the
Yeah,
definitely.
game,
yeah.
Play
Of
base.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's just sad that they abandoned it now.
Hmm.
And I think after Friday the 13th, it just left probably a bad taste in people's mouths.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they chose to do this one, so I don't know. I don't know. It sounds like
It's just
they're like,
sad that.
see what we're doing
Yeah.
next, and I'm like, you probably shouldn't have put that map
Why?
in there.
Why?
Yeah.
You're not living up to your full potential.
Yeah. It's sad, and it makes you wonder, like, the future of some gaming spheres. I mean, there's been plenty of games that have been like, "Oh, we're gonna cancel it because, it didn't sell well." And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, I understand that, a lot goes into maintaining it, but it's just hoping that that's not how, like, the future of some games are gonna be.
That reminds me of what was the other behavior game? The puzzle game, Queen.
The puzzle
Isles.
game?
Yeah, Isles of
Oh, yeah, yeah. Um,
Insight.
Insight? Yeah.
Yeah, the one we've talked about
yeah,
it. It's like
Islands
this
of
kind of
Insight.
Islands of Insight. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of this. Like
I
behavior
just
ditched
Yeah,
that one
choose
too.
it didn't
choose
sell
to
well,
Yeah.
put
so
it out of. Well, they didn't advertise it.
well,
They
yes,
weren't
that's the
making
yeah.
active updates to it. And the moment I buy it, as soon as I log in, oh, we're not going to be updating this anymore. And oh, we're not going to have your co-op anymore. And I'm like, why do you still have all of that on your Steam page then?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Who
it
knew
just
they had a puzzle game? I totally would have been playing it probably when it first came out.
Yeah, if I had no clue, and like you said, if I had known, I probably would have been playing it
Yeah.
because it looked really cool.
yeah, so it just makes me leery of like buying some
Yeah.
games that are like multiplayer co-op if it requires like continual updates like a live service game.
Yeah.
So it just makes
Mhm.
me leery of like, and I probably won't buy whatever Gun has puts out next unless I don't know. Unless it's not a
Yeah.
multiplayer game, like I said. If it's like a straight story kind of driven game, then maybe, but anything that requires them to like actually, put in
Yeah.
work for for the foreseeable future, right?
No
So
more multiplayer for me, from them at least.
because I don't think anyone's buying that this was the full potential because they had
Yeah.
other cosmetics coming out that were data mined. So people know they're there and they're not going to release them. And that's just kind
Yeah,
of
it
sad.
it also
Get it together.
probably, like, money was probably a factor too. Like, it's just gonna be too much to put into this game, and we're
Mm-hmm.
not getting enough return. So yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. But
R.I.P.
rip TCM. But so
Yep.
you still play TCM, and I believe it's on PlayStation Plus, is what I heard. So if you have a PlayStation, you can play it that way for free and not give them any money because they're not going to update it. So, but I just kind of wanted to bring it up because
Uh,
I was just kind of like out of nowhere.
No, it's interesting, and it kind of like, like we said, it looks to the future of gaming. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like, is this how it's going to be now? Like, well,
Well,
this game sucks now, and we're just not going to do anything with it.
well, I can tell you for behavior and DVD that's not the case because licenses
Oh
Yeah.
no,
is 3 years out. They have their chapters
there's
scheduled for 3 years from now.
yeah.
and they're still
So
going strong.
they're still
So
going strong. Don't worry about DVD. They're fine unless they like royally screw up in some way. I don't know how. I don't know a scenario that would be,
Always
but
a possibility.
it's a possibility, right? But
Mhm.
I do know Matthew Cote has said they have their chapters lined out for the next 3 years. So
Nice. So we got at least 3 good years in us,
yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's move to DVD. Had their PAX East live stream. And there was a
Woo.
lot of good stuff in here.
Mhm.
The biggest reveal, of course, the anniversary chapter, which we all know is Five Nights at Freddy's because they announced it a
Yep.
year in advance.
Yeah.
But they showed a short teaser trailer for the
Mhm.
killer, which is going to be Springtrap. He will
Yep.
also be called the animatronic. So in the game, he is going to be voiced by the original game actor PJ Haywood. This was not revealed in the live stream, so there was some confusion. So just to get that straight, so he is doing the voice of Springtrap, but there is also going to be a legendary skin that is from the FNAF movie that has Matthew Lillard's likeness and his voice
Oh,
lines.
I love him
Yeah.
so
Yes.
much.
So just to be clear, there was some confusion because they only showed
Yeah.
Matthew Lillard. So Matthew Lillard isn't doing the like normal Springtrap killer.
Yeah.
That's going to be the video game actor PJ Haywood, but Matthew Lillard's movie cosmetic will have his lines, and so that's really cool. And I love Matthew Lillard. Like I just
I do
want to.
too.
Ding.
He's so amazing, and I love watching him in Faster. I think it's with Faster Worm Kill Kill, which is kind of like a D&D group similar to, um, oh my god, what's the other one?
Critical Role.
Critical Role. Yeah, I didn't know he was in that, and then a friend introduced me into it, and I love him since Scream. Like he's great.
I know. I was about to say we have Ghostface. Can y'all have him do some
Yeah.
lines for Ghostface?
Which
while
which
he's
I
in
would
here?
I would love him to do that. Even Skeet Ulrich, like just he's not doing anything else right now, right?
I don't know. He's been doing some stuff. We just talked about him at TCM. He did a skin
Well,
for
that's true.
TCM. He's
Well, I
he's
know
doing some stuff.
Yeah,
But
Riverdale ended a while ago, but I know he was on Riverdale, so he could be free.
yeah. So the other little tidbits they talked about with Springtrap is there's going to be a new mechanic when you go against Springtrap. They did not say what. They also did not go over power or perks, so we still don't know that either. They said
Yeah,
they
it was
would do
sad.
they would do a future live stream going over just the FNAF chapter. So that should be pretty soon, I hope. There's nothing scheduled yet, so maybe we'll know by the time this episode comes out.
Mhm.
Also, with the FNAF chapter, we are getting the new map. It's the pizzeria from the first game.
It looks so cool.
Yes, I'm so excited.
They said in the live stream that there are going to be Easter eggs, surprises, and jump scares. So don't know what all that's going to be. Some people have been analyzing. There were some screenshots of the map. There's also like one of a closed like security door with a camera. So people are speculating like what that is about. If it's part of Springtrap's power or if it's just part of the map.
Maybe.
It could be
Balin
map because
stuff.
yeah, that could be part of the map because that is part of the other game is watching the cameras in the like the original. So
yes, it'll be. I'm curious to see if his power has to do with the cameras, though. Okay, so I have not played Five Nights at Freddy's. I've watched some gameplay, but typically
Same.
it's not Springtrap watching the cameras. It's the player. So I don't know because it's like the first game is a security guard, and you have to monitor the cameras and the doors and not lose power. That's kind of the whole premise of the first FNAF game.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do with his power. And there's also been like speculation over the weapon because I think if you freeze in the teaser trailer, he looks like he's holding a knife. But there was like some leaks saying it was going to be an axe. I don't know. It's all over the place. So we will have to see what the weapon is and the power and all that when they do the next live stream. The other thing they announced, though, going back to the map, is for this chapter and going forward, they're going to have a separate queue if you just want to go on the new map. So instead of having to run an offering, they will have a separate queue for you to go on the pizzeria map. And they said they will do that for each new map they put in to the game.
Nice.
And I think this is a great quality of life
I
change.
agree.
I did
Because it's very frustrating. We've all been throughout all the years of like, we want to see the new map. Play the offerings. And then it kind of sucks if that map is in an existing realm and you get the wrong map.
I know.
So you can definitely see the map.
Yeah, this is a cool concept. I like that. Okay.
Any other thoughts for FNAF?
Nope. They gave tentative was June, right?
Yes,
For the
it's
release.
coming. The release should be June. Now,
We
there's
just don't
been
have a
some
date.
no, and there's been speculation over when PTV is supposed to be because
Okay.
it
Yeah.
seems like it's running late. This chapter is running late
Okay.
according to their normal schedule. That's what I've seen in like the leaks and commentary. So we don't have a PTV date right now. We don't have a release date. I don't think it should be mid-June, I believe.
Yeah, 'cause I think they just said summer when they like announced it.
It's
Summer of
June. It's on the
2025.
map.
Yeah, well, I
But
mean, like ages ago, they were like, "It's coming in the summer," and we're like,
yeah,
"Okay."
it's their anniversary chapter, so it is June.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
So we can move on to let's look at the roadmap.
Heck yeah. It's a
Yeah.
packed roadmap. That's
Yeah.
Oh my God, I know.
We're gonna go through it. They did say this for year 10. There's gonna be 2 original chapters and 3 license. So in the YouTube video, I will put up the roadmap for you all to look at. So let's go through the roadmap and just kind of look through it. So June, of course, is FNAF chapter. We get a new killer and a new map. So no survivor. Forgot to mention that. There's no survivor with the FNAF chapter. But oh, let me pause. Let's go back. And then we'll have our anniversary. So it has in-game event at the bottom. That's going to be our anniversary event going through June and part of July. And in July, we are getting a licensed chapter that is 2 new survivors. And they gave us a hint at the end of the live stream that they had like hinted at it. And so basically, when you look at the roadmap, there are letters that are like grayed out or not as clear. And so, like, this lasted like all of 10 minutes. I feel like after the live stream, people figured it out. It says the ones who live, I believe, and it's basically a Walking Dead reference. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're probably getting Walking Dead in July. We don't know. They haven't confirmed it yet. But
Yeah, because the TV show, The Ones Who Live, was Michonne and Rick.
So those might be our survivors. That would make sense.
Would be totally down. Like, I'd be excited.
Yeah, I know Walking Dead, a lot of people have been wanting it in the game. We're also getting a modifier in July, so maybe it'll be associated with Walking Dead. I've heard, I can't remember who suggested it, like doing a mode where it's like zombies. Because Nemesis has zombies, like put like a bunch of zombies in the match. But that is July. August, we are going to get 2v8 again. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
And I believe this 2v8, because we have 2v8 going on right now. The next 2v8, I'm trying to see, did I have this in my notes? We can just talk about it here. They're going to have a fix for the queue times where you can queue up as killer, but then also play survivor rounds while you wait.
Oh,
and it
cool.
will keep your place
I
in
missed
line.
that. Sorry.
Yeah. So it will keep your place in line. So if you're still in a survivor round, when your turn for killer comes up, it doesn't move you to the back. It'll keep you at the front until you get out. So that's how they're kind of solving the queue time issue, is you can play survivor while you're in queue for killer. So I
wonder if that's something that they might use for other stuff, like for regular queue. I know it's not that bad, but I know that sometimes it can be a long wait. So
I think the queue for regular gets bad was 2v8 because the player base is kind of split.
But yeah, but that's interesting. So that might be something they might use later on. Who knows?
Yep. Hopefully it works correctly.
Yes, that too.
Okay, then we hit September. This is going to be an original chapter with a new killer and new survivor. And they did tell us that this chapter is going to be tied to Asian folklore.
Ooh.
And that's all we really know. So,
but that's it. That's all you get.
That's all we know right now. But they did give us that's going to be something from Asian folklore. So hopefully it's awesome and creepy, because Asian horror is like on another level. Like if you play Asian horror games, watch like Asian horror movies, yes. It is creepier.
Ringu is scary.
Yeah. I think about the horror game Home Sweet Home. Like I think.
Oh yeah, that was very creepy.
The girl with the box cutter, like, is so creepy. Okay, But yeah, so that's going to be one of our 2 original chapters. So that hits us in September. There's a modifier also in September. So I don't know what that's going to be. So that could be Chaos Shuffle that they like to throw in every other month. Okay, then
This
we
is not
hit.
lights out. I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
same.
think we're done with Lights Out.
I can skip
Don't
that
bring
one.
that back. I mean, I would say bring in a new modifier, but since they've been doing all the quality of life stuff, I don't think we're going to see a different modifier this year. That's just my speculation because they're really pushing the quality of life initiative stuff, which is good. So. Okay, October, we don't have we have Rift, no new chapter. In-game event, this will be our Halloween event. And then November, we have a licensed chapter with a new killer and 2 new survivors.
Yay!
Did they give us anything on this one? November, yeah, this is our licensed one. Lots of speculation on this one since it's 2 survivors and a killer. No map. I saw one tweet about let it be a third Resident Evil chapter, and I'm going to say I'm actually behind that. We can have a third a third one.
Silent Hill, maybe?
Or Silent Hill. Oh yeah, okay, that reminds me. Thank you for saying that because that reminds
You're
me
welcome.
because at the beginning of the live stream when they were leading up to FNAF, they actually talked about Silent Hill and Resident Evil. And so Eric Pope was talking about how he was sitting with Matthew Cote and they were talking about how Silent Hill was like the first video game license they got in the game, and then followed by Resident Evil. And so they were talking about the chapters, and at the end, Eric says, we should do more with these. And I'm like, oh, yes, we should.
You're like, they
do more. You should do more. And I would like to see if they did another Resident Evil, maybe take something from one of the newer games, either 7 or 8. So Biohazard, I think, is 7. And then Village is 8. Because there's tons of survivors, like characters they can pull from for survivors. But I would love to see if they did 7, them do Jack Baker. Or if they did Village. Of course, you have to have Lady Dimitrescu.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yes. They would sell so many chapters if they did Lady D. Like, it would sell so fast if they did Lady D.
Yes, 100%. I miss her.
I know, because spoilers for Village. If you play Village, she's actually like the first. They call them lords, the bosses in the game. They're lords. She's the first like lord you go against. So of course she's like the first one you take out. But there was like so much hype for her with the teasers and stuff. And then I was like, oh, she's like the first one you take out.
Well, I mean, she was kind of cute.
She was.
And she had her daughters to come greet you.
Yes. It was a family affair.
It was. It's such a good game. I love that game.
Yeah, I love Village.
I mean, I didn't play it. I watched it, but it was good.
I played it. I played Village. I like Village. I have not played 7. I'm scared to. But I know I've seen plenty of Jack Baker. He is also terrifying as well. So if they did pulls from 7, I would love to see him as the killer. Yeah, give us more Resident Evil. I mean, Resident Evil sells. I also feel like Resident Evil, they have done the chapters very well. The perks have always been really good. Like, we've gotten Blast Mine and Flashbangs from Resident Evil chapters, okay? So
we've gotten some good stuff.
We've gotten good new items and perks, but that is November. And then we have 2v8 again in November. Let's see. Then January, we have an endgame event. This is going to be... Oh, sorry, December, January. This is our Christmas event.
Yay.
Yay, snowman.
They really like. We love the snowman.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, I really love.
They made them
Christmas
creepier this
events.
last year. I don't know how I feel though.
No, I know. I miss the like cutesy.
I'm hoping
snowman.
if they have them move around that they get the them not look so robotic. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Movement. Okay, then March we have a new survivor and a new realm.
Interesting.
So this one will be original. So this is our second original one. Oh, the only thing they said in the live stream with the March chapter is that it's, quote, a special chapter. I don't know what that means at all, but that's just kind of the phrase they put out there with that chapter. So those were like the little phrase I caught. But that's our roadmap. Do y'all want to speculate on any of the licenses? We know we're getting Walking Dead, FNAF, so it's just
No.
the November license that
I don't
we don't
know.
know.
Like, I feel like it could be anything.
I don't know. I
I
don't know
like
if it
being
could be.
surprised.
Yeah, I don't know if it could be Jason, but
Oh, some people would like that so much.
Because I think did they fix that whole thing with
yeah, they fixed the
um
lawsuit stuff.
the lawsuit. There you go. Sorry, the
I
word
think it.
escaped me.
I think it is split between two people. Like,
Okay,
I'd have to go look up the
so
names of everyone,
I
but like
mean, that
one
could be.
has one has like Camp Crystal Lake, basically movie one, and then someone else has, I think, the like hockey mask Jason
Yeah.
license. But everything's been settled, and I think there is like Jason is getting. I think there's a TV show. Basically, he's starting to get put into games and media and stuff.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
stuff's moving forward with Jason. So I don't think it. He's definitely a possibility. Whether they've had enough time to actually work on a Jason chapter, I don't know.
Well, yeah, that too.
Those are the only things I could think of right now. Jason and Resident Evil.
Mhm.
Silent Hill would be great.
Yeah.
I just don't
Or
know.
Makes
I mean, I
sense.
don't know if they would have Silent Hill done in that amount of time, but
I mean, I was really hoping they do just even more cosmetics for Silent Hill after Silent Hill 2 was such a hit.
mhm.
But I mean, we're getting it's. I mean, that came out last fall, so
Yeah.
I was really hoping for some new Silent Hill contact. Maybe they will. I'm not sure who
Fingers
they should
crossed.
do, but
Yeah, I can't think of anything else because I feel like if I'm like, "Oh yeah, they would do this," and then they completely surprise me and release a D&D chapter that I never would have
another one.
guessed. Well,
But
no,
that
no,
was
like,
so
Oh,
great.
the
oh
Vecna one.
no, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, I never would have guessed Dungeons and Dragons, like, would have been a chapter. It's something that never would have
Uh,
crossed my mind for DVD. So who knows? It could
and
literally be anything. And I love that
Well,
voiced by
chapter.
Matthew Mercer.
Oh my god, I know the man himself.
I know, living legend.
oh, that is another possibility. Stranger Things, but I don't know if I don't
Oh,
know if Netflix is interested or
Ooh.
not.
that's a good one. That didn't think about because they've definitely expanded on that since it's been released in DVD.
Mm-hmm.
So that could
They
be.
could put the TV show Vecna version in.
I would
Oh,
just
that's
be down
true.
for more Stranger Things
Yeah,
content and characters in general,
Yeah,
as everyone's
same.
pretty much aged up now,
I know. I would love Eddie. Can we just rewrite Eddie's like
Oh,
history and put Eddie
yes.
in as a survivor?
If we got an Eddie skin, oh my god, I
Take
would
my
love it.
money. Yeah, I'm just not sure if Netflix, when they initially put Stranger Things back in, what I heard was like Netflix wasn't really interested in doing anything else.
Yeah.
But it was basically, I think they asked Netflix if they could put it back in. They said yes, because I think it got put back into, or they put it in Fortnite as well around the same time.
Hmm.
So we just don't know the one license or the originals. So it'll be nice to see what we get. And there seems, I guess the next part we'll talk about is their upcoming quality of life changes. So we can move into that. So there's two phases for quality of life. There's phase one, which is going to be April and June. So they had a graphic where they showed the stuff they've worked on, which is the anti-slugging and surrender option, and also the quest system that I just put in, and the preview your perks and lobby. So that's the little icons. I didn't really write down too much for this phase one. They talked about custom game improvement, so having more
Mhm.
spectator slots, and that they're also going to put events and modes, including 2v8, into custom matches. So you can do those with your friends.
Yay.
Yay! I guess I could just read through the other stuff they talked about. Gamma settings, go next prevention, hiding and body blocking prevention, spawn rules and map offering balancing, and improved AFK bots. Also bulk blood point spending, and then just talked about the custom game improvements. So that's all going to come in by the anniversary chapter, I guess. And then the longer one we have is phase two. So this is July through December. Phase two, they talked about, so they got the anti-slugging continued improvements, anti-tunneling, anti-camping, They're going to rework map and key items, item balancing. So they mentioned that maps would work more like windows of opportunity, meaning it's going to show you vaults and pallets, I guess. And then they're going to rework keys to reveal the killer aura. There's going to be a new gameplay mechanic with chest, and keys will still open the hatch. And then also, they're going to revamp MMR.
Oh.
Finally! Finally! You know, because it will no longer be the day of kills equal skills. That is over.
Yay.
We're moving on.
Because if you ran the killer for 5 gens and got kills in the end, was it really a skilled play? We're moving away from all of that. They talked about that it would just account for more of your actions in the game. It won't look at just kills and escapes. I'm sure that'll still be part of it, but it's going to look at your individual actions, which I think this is really important on the survivor side, more so than the killer, because there are lots of things you do in the game. Even if you don't escape, like objective points, you could be extremely altruistic. And if you die, it doesn't matter. So I think it will be good. I don't know if they're going to tell us how MMR is going to work or if it's still going to be secret. I think giving us some hints would be good so that players can play accordingly, if that makes sense. Like if it's like, if it takes into account like how much you heal people or how much shins you do, like if it looks at overall everything, then it's going to incentivize people to play less selfishly, I guess is how I'll put it. They also mentioned we're going to get a new survivor item this summer. They didn't say what it was. We have no clue. But we're going to have a new survivor item.
Yay!
No idea what it is.
See what it is. I'm hoping, I know we've talked about personally, I'm hoping that it's along the lines of fog crystals.
Yes, we actually have those in 2v8 right now. We have the fog crystals in 2v8. So that's kind of the speculation. It might be the crystals. Otherwise, I have no idea. But we are getting something this summer, so soon. The other thing they talked about was that they are also this summer, this update will come in where they are going to show estimated queue time. So like you queue up.
Okay.
So if you queue up for killer, it'll give you an estimate of like, is it going to be 3 minutes of waiting? I think this will be very helpful with 2v8, obviously, because the queue time is horrible in regards to killer.
Yeah.
So we'll be getting that one soon as well. Quality of life. So they're going to have more perk presets, keyboard and mouse on console. Again, the more custom game improvements, accessibility improvements, prestige rewards, finally, hopefully. Reduce login steps when you play the game. And then they also we already talked about the 2v8 play while you wait. The other thing they mentioned was creator support. So like being able to, I think, like purchase things in the store and like through a creator or giving credit to certain creators, basically showing support in that way to creators in the community. So I thought that was pretty cool. So do y'all have any thoughts on all this quality of life stuff? A lot of this they didn't really go over into detail, especially in phase 2.
It's just a lot they're planning on doing, which I 110% agree with, to keep the game, fresh. To have these improvements. So like, kudos to Behavior for kind of planning all this out.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just excited. I'm excited to hopefully see the positive impact a lot of these updates have. I'm excited maybe having a better MMR so I don't die all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Because I don't want to be at whatever level I'm at. I'm over it. I'm done.
We just want to chill a little bit, y'all.
I just want to have fun.
Or ready to not be like us at the end having to decide, okay, who's going to go for hatch this time? Who's going to die?
Yeah, and they didn't talk about any of the anti-tunneling and anti-camping stuff at all. So we don't really know what they're going to do with all the anti-slugging, anti-tunneling, all the anti-stuff, anti-camping.
Yeah.
Or the go next stuff, because we've been experiencing that.
Yeah, I don't know how you prevent the go next stuff besides getting rid of like skill checks.
I'm excited to see what happens. And I'm glad that, one, we've talked about it in the past, behavior being more transparent. So I'm
Mhm.
glad that they really took that to heart when the community said that. And they're really saying, like, this is everything we've got and what we're working on. And I love roadmaps. So this one is packed and I'm super excited to.
Same. Yeah, I'm excited that they're tackling quality of life issues as well,
Mhm.
and not just like, obviously gameplay changes are great, but like presets, and they did like previewing your perks in the lobby and all that other kind of stuff. Like, I just like that games look at that as well, or developers, and I'm just glad that that's something they're doing, because I know we have a lot of list of things that we were like, we wish you
That
would
we
do
want.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm glad that they're kind of trying to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Next part. They talked about different collections they're going to be having. And the big one is there's going to be a collection for The Witcher.
Mhm.
Um,
Yay!
I have not played or watched The Witcher, so. But
I
I
have
feel like I know a
watched it.
lot about The Witcher because it's everywhere. So to
Mhm.
me, it's kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like Game of Thrones. Like I knew everything happening in Game of Thrones, not because I watched Game of Thrones, but everyone I know watched Game of Thrones and
Yeah.
like was talking about it. So with The Witcher, this
I've
collection's
watched a
coming
lot of
out.
yeah.
Oh, go
Sorry.
ahead. No, what have you watched, Morbid?
Oh,
Have you
no, I was
watched
gonna say
it?
I've watched a lot of Witcher gameplay, because when they announced the new Witcher game, I knew immediately as soon as I saw her in the bathtub, I was like, "It's a Witcher game." Like, I just know that that's a thing.
Okay, so this is coming out June 3rd. They're going to have a legendary cosmetic of Geralt for Victorio, and they're actually going to have the voice lines from the game actor Doug Cockle, I believe is how you say his name. So that's
Cool.
cool. They'll have a legendary cosmetic with voice lines. Let's see, we're also going to have one for the artist. This is also legendary. Leshen. I don't know any of this stuff, so I don't
That
know what
sounds about
Leshen is.
right.
Yeah,
So
that sounds right.
feel free to correct me, but that's the artist cosmetic. Then Kate is going to have the Yennefer cosmetic.
Mhm.
Sable will have Cersei.
Siri.
Siri, thank you.
Sorry. You're
Sable
welcome.
Siri. Michaela is Trish. The Knight is Erden.
I think so.
And then they also had this show that they are going to have a player card with Geralt in the tub, which is,
Yeah.
is fairly a thing.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Gerald loves his tubs.
And they also said there's going to be a Chaos Shuffle event for this
Yep. Mhm.
Cool.
collection. So I guess we do know what the modifier is for
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I just realized that it's in here. So yeah,
That's
Chaos
alright.
Shuffle again. But
Yay.
yeah,
Again,
Witcher is a huge
Look, it's
franchise.
better than Lights Out.
Yes. So
fact.
yeah, Witcher is a huge collection. So I think this was received very well at PAX. There were people screaming and all that. So
Yeah,
Mm.
there were ladies screaming.
Oh, I was gonna
yeah.
say ladies for sure is, like, half the demographic.
Y'all gonna be buying any of these?
Um,
I really like the cosmetic for Sable. It's like they're role playing because they're still their
yeah.
self.
Yeah.
I may end up with Ciri and Yennefer just because 'cause they're 2 of my favorite characters from the TV show, so maybe Geralt, I don't know.
So next collection they announced, which this has been announced a while ago, the Boulet brothers are getting
Mhm.
cosmetics. This is set for July. And so if you don't know, the Boulet brothers have a show. Matthew Cote was on there and they did a whole DVD themed episode.
Oh, that's right.
So they are going to have the cosmetic that won in their show. It was a hunter's cosmetic, and they showed some illustrations of what's going to be put in the game. And then
Mhm.
there's also going to be a cosmetic for the artist, and this is based on the Boulet brothers and how they dress, kind of overall. So that will
Okay,
also
that's
be
cool.
coming in
Yeah.
July. Now we have to talk about something that's going to make Queen very upset.
Oh, why you do these things to me?
It's not me, it's
Oh.
behavior. It's behavior.
It's not
Well,
her fault.
behavior, why do you do these things to me?
So the casting of Frank Stone, the whole game, Supermassive Day.
Oh,
So they're bringing Frank
me
Stone
sad.
in as just a skin for the Trapper. Wah,
Yeah, we're
wah.
not gonna actually get him more the cool characters in the game.
No, and you know what's funny? I saw on Twitter because I think I was following Pixelbish. So like Supermassive had posted. I'd have to go find it, but it was about like someone had mentioned like that they're just going to put him as a cosmetic, and their Supermassive was like, no, he's more important than that. Basically, this is summarizing, but like,
But they lied to us.
yeah. And then Pixelbush came in after the analysis, like lies, like, yeah,
Yeah,
no. It's just kind of sad. I think it's because it didn't do very well. To be honest, it wasn't as well
yeah.
received. I mean, the Queen. If you want to know what happens in the casting of Frank Stone, Queen did a playthrough for our YouTube channel, so you can
Hmm.
always check that out. But yeah, there was a lot of opportunities to bring some new survivors in, and then of course Frank Stone as the killer because he does look very horrifying in the game. And they didn't even reveal like what he's going to look like in the game. It was just a picture of him from the Supermassive game. So I don't think there was
Yeah.
a date for this one.
Well, now I'm sad.
It is kind of sad. So we are not getting a chapter for Frank Stone. Are you okay, Queen? You're so quiet.
No,
I know.
not. I think that
She's
I
in
feel
mourning.
like, yeah, I feel like if you do something like that, just full send it and do it all the way, regardless of reception. Like, take the feedback back and make
Yeah.
things better next time. But it's just the full opportunity to have Frank Stone added in, and then having some of the main characters in the game added into, I just find it just the opportunity. It makes me sad. Like,
Yeah, because they could have put like two survivors in, like a male female one, and then
mhm.
do skins like they do for Resident Evil. So
You've
you could have
disappointed
all
us.
the
We could have
survivors
had
in.
Behavior.
Sam.
Queen loves
Sam's.
Sam.
I love Sam. Sam would have been amazing, but no. So I
No,
mean, this is the thing that we were hoping. We were hoping was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad Trapper's getting some love. Okay, we love Trapper, but at the same time, just I
Give us
don't know.
what we want.
Yeah, if you're gonna do something, just do it all the way.
yeah,
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
don't be like Gun Interactive, okay?
Don't
For
half-ass it.
real.
Commits, just
For
commit,
real.
y'all.
Give Queen what she wants.
I mean, yeah. I'll cry and I'll get over it and I'll just have to play the game to get my stand
Yeah,
fixed whenever I want.
I
But
mean, we've talked about Frank Stone. It's not a terrible game, but there was definitely some missed opportunities in the game,
yeah.
especially towards
Mhm.
the end. There was a lot more critiquing because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that middle
Yeah.
section you played was like so good. It was
So
so
good.
good. But then like after that, it just kind of like it felt very rushed. Like
Fell
after
off.
that,
Fell
yeah.
off. I
So
mean, the middle part, those videos are some of our most viewed videos on YouTube.
I
It,
know. You
it
guys
was so
enjoyed them.
good. Yeah, we did. Like, it really was until like the last one where we're like, there's just one scene, and we talk about it. We talk about it in those videos on YouTube, where once it happened, we kind of realized the trajectory of where everything was going, and we're like, oh, why did this happen?
Mhm.
Why did someone decide this is the best course of action
Yeah.
at this pivotal moment in the game? Why, when I am being chased by the big bad evil, are you making me stop to do a gen?
oh yeah, the gen part. That was
And
really a part for more exploration, like of
oh,
the house and all of that. There could have been more. Like there just it
be so much more. It doesn't make any sense.
yeah, I think they just like kind of I don't know, maybe they ran out of money. I have no idea what happened at the end of the game. Like they ran out of resources like because like with do
Something
we've talked
happened.
about this before with the gen because like you had to find parts to put in the gen first, but they were just like in the same room. I was like you could have had this be like have us explore this area of the map. So like yeah,
Mhm.
the killer's chasing us, but maybe we get him stuck behind like a wall or something. So then we have that time to explore and try to figure out how to get out and away from Frank Stone, but yeah,
You're like,
it was just very
keep
rushed
the
at the end.
keep the gen in, but maybe split it to where you get to play both characters at that moment in time. You have the one that has to search around and find the parts to complete the gen, and you have the one that's actively distracting the
Mm-hmm.
big bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's just missed opportunity. Also, what, killer realistically is going to be like, oh, I have this one person running away, and I have this one person that's just wandering around a room to collect parts. Like, you go for the person that locked themselves in a room with one exit,
Mm-hmm.
and all they have is, a cogwheel and a generator that doesn't work.
Yeah, they're just, oh gosh. Like, and I'm thinking back to some of their other games. I'm like, there's just opportunities missed of like having to hide from the killer and like holding your breath mechanics and things like that they could have kind of thrown in. Put on your iron will and but yeah. So anyway, Frank Stone, no chapter for Frank. No love for Frank except the trapper skin.
Hmm.
Next we got Laura Croft is getting 2 new cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
revealed one. It's going to be her OG cosmetic. And it looked very good, what they showed.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And the second one they did not show. They just said it was recognizable.
Is it going to be the like 8-bit 2D
I
pyramid
have
boobs
no.
Well,
from like the original game?
technically we have that without the pyramid booth.
I'm just saying.
They didn't say what the second one is, so we don't know. It'll be revealed later. So yeah, we're getting more Lara Croft, which is great. People seem to really love the Lara Croft chapter, so
Yeah.
I like her cosmetics. They're pretty.
yeah. And then the last thing they talked about, they are going to be doing with the community, create your own chapter. So basically, they are going to work and get input from the community on creating a killer and survivor. And they're going to start this from the beginning with like
Cool.
choosing what kind of aesthetic, I guess you could say, like you want. And it sounds like there's going to be polls and you vote, and that's going to kind of dictate what gets put into the killer and what gets put into the survivor. There'll be a lot more input, or I guess a lot more questions for the killer one because you have to do a power and perks, whereas
Yeah.
survivor is just going to
Mm-hmm.
be probably what they look like their character, and then like perks. So no power, obviously, on the survivor. So it seems cool, but like, I don't know. Everyone was like kind of joking around how we're going to, like, the community's going to create like a really like weird killer or a survivor.
I mean,
I could just imagine,
that
like,
tracks though,
I know, like they're
Just
gonna
do it. Just
troll the
commit.
crap out of it. Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
And behavior should just go with it. Like, this is
I think
Yes,
what you
they
wanted.
should.
yeah.
They should 100% lean in and just let it happen.
I think that's why there's going to be like direction. Like, it's not
Yeah.
us actually creating things, us having choices.
Yeah, I mean, it says that they're gonna do looks, lore, and gameplay, and it'll be a wide-ranging series of choices
Yeah.
in a narrative format. So, yeah, I'm sure they're gonna like help us along the way. But I do think it's cool, like to get more input than just like their usual like little surveys that they give out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. Hopefully, this will be successful and not a complete disaster.
I think it's part of them wanting us to experience the process so
Yeah,
we
like.
understand it, because that's a lot of the complaints when stuff comes out is, why do we get this? Why didn't we get
Mhm.
something else? This chapter is trash. This is stupid. Like,
Oh, you didn't like Lady Voldemort? Well, look, this is what it's like to build a chapter.
We should just rebuild Lady Voldemort.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. You're like, you guys
only if she's
basically.
actually called Lady Voldemort.
I
So,
mean, do we get to pick like the name and everything?
I
'Cause
imagine we can't do Voldemort. I imagine it's copyright.
well, yeah, that's probably
well,
copyrighted, but
no,
Lady V? I don't know.
Lady V.
no. I I mean, there's got to be other names out there. They are called Voldemort.
Voldemort. Yeah, it's a silent T. It's fine.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. Voldemort.
Oh, so this even says that there's going to be a course correct with the change your fate mechanic. So, like, if you don't like the way it's going, you can, like, I guess, fix it. I don't
It's
know.
basically like a big
Mhm.
choose your own adventure novel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of
they
cool.
talked about that too. Yeah,
Mhm.
the Choose Your Own Adventure.
It's interesting. I'll say that. Like, it's going to be an interesting thing, and then hopefully something good comes out of it, and it's not horrible.
Historically speaking, when there's been stuff like this in other games, there's always going to be people who are disappointed.
Oh,
And I've always
100%. Yeah.
seen like whatever was really like the cult favorite, most games end up incorporating at some point.
Hmm.
So I'm sure if there's something, or a theme, or whatever it is that people really push for, maybe
Yeah.
it should still give them ideas of things that people want in the game. I will
And
say for those who actively play DBD and love it, please participate in this because
yeah.
we don't want to hear no bitching.
Mhm. Well, plus, I
Let
mean,
your voice be heard.
looking at like when they do the community skins and the community
Mhm,
like just events where you enter your stuff, there we have a lot of very creative and talented
mhm.
people in the community. So hopefully they will participate in this, which I imagine they will. And like you said, hopefully they do so we don't get a lot of people complaining like why did they pick that? And it's like, well, you didn't help. So shut up.
Yeah.
You're like, if you're wondering why the killer could just immediately start the match and just 4K everybody, it's because you didn't participate
Exactly. That's not our fault.
in the
That's your fault.
survey. I doubt that's going to happen, but I'm just saying we got to get everyone participating so it can be, as objective and balanced as possible. But
Mhm.
I'm more. It sounds really weird, but I'm more excited to see like afterwards what people say when things
Oh
come
god,
out
yeah.
and be like, well, technically the community did this, so
It's all
you can
your
only
fault.
blame yourself.
This
Yeah.
was a group effort, okay?
Yes. We all went down with the boat, okay?
Yes.
But yeah, participate. I'm sure it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see the process to
Yeah, I
have an
think that's what
idea of how things work on the back end.
yeah, I think that's what I'm excited about is to see like this whole process of how it's
Mhm.
made and what goes into maybe choosing these different aspects of a killer and a survivor.
That only means that when they finally come to us and ask if we can do the Gins Before Friends chapter, we'll
Mm,
have insight. You know what I mean?
yes, we'll already be prepared.
I know. I have a lot of ideas, behavior. Come talk to me. 3 survivors and 3 killers.
Oh my.
I already got perks that I'm thinking of.
That's
And personally,
amazing.
I think having a chapter called Gins Before Friends, one, it's aesthetically pleasing and matches the game already.
It is a great title.
And
Mhm.
I think we deserve to be in the game. That's all I'm saying.
I do too.
I just want to play myself.
That's all I have for the live stream.
It was a lot.
Yeah,
There was a lot. They did reveal a lot.
they packed a
Um,
lot into their little segment that they had, so
yep, and
good for them.
we're gonna find out more about FNAF hopefully pretty soon, and have PTV pretty soon. Cross your
Mhm.
fingers.
Fingers
So,
crossed.
And I think I kind of liked this format better. I know that's weird, but like just thinking back on other like anniversary broadcasts, I don't know. I just liked this one. Maybe because it was live. I know they all are, but
well,
this
I don't know
one,
if they're all live or they
well, maybe
pre-record some of
not.
them.
I'm sure some of it's pre-recorded, but I just this one seemed more I don't say cohesive, but like it just it was different because it was at PAX East and there wasn't like a big I don't know what's the right word, like production value, I guess. I just feel like the other ones were they felt awkward sometimes, and this one just felt very, I don't know, different.
More
And I
natural and
more
relaxed a
natural.
bit.
Yeah, and I had to throw that in there. I don't know why. It just made me think of it.
Well, I mean, at PAX East, they're not necessarily catering to their normal audience, right? They're going to have a lot of people there. I'm sure people
True.
that like the game were there as well. So they had to tailor their communication to the audience and also
Hmm.
spend time to explain things for those that maybe were just sitting there and that had no concept of, DVD or behavior. So that's
True, true.
probably part of it as well. Things were very concise, even though there were several times that, the host was like, I'm being told to hurry up. They were
Yeah.
trying to keep things very concise, to the point,
Because
simple,
yeah. I've
you
been
know.
to a lot of cons and a lot of panels, and I totally get that. Like, you have a set amount of time, and they packed so much in, so I could see that. But yeah, so it was interesting to see because I know they said that they didn't really break with like tradition, but they did things differently than they usually do.
Yeah, so I think they were just trying to fit as much in as possible. My favorite thing is always the comments because they infuriate me as I'm
Mhm.
watching like the stream go live, where
Yes.
every time there's someone that asks to nerf the pig,
Oh
Oh
my god, I
yeah.
every
know.
time there's people asking for like feet pics. And
Mhm.
my favorite thing was they were very um the moment it started and they started to go through everything they were going to touch and the roadmap and how they were doing it, immediately it was, we're just here for FNAF. We just want to get to FNAF, get to
Yeah.
FNAF, get to FNAF. So they went through all this stuff they were doing. FNAF happened. And after FNAF happened, everyone's like, well, when are you going to talk about this? When's this coming up? What, there's a roadmap? And I was like, it was the first 25 minutes.
Mhm.
Like, the whole time you were complaining that they were talking about other stuff, and now you're complaining because you missed everything else. And then everybody that was like, "Well, where's FNAF?" I'm like, "It just happened." So pay attention during the streams. Like, they went over
Yeah.
everything, and half of the chat was just not paying attention.
Well,
Also, nerf the pig, but I don't know.
they did
No,
make it
don't nerf the pig,
they
but
did make like the feet joke though with Gerald
they
in the
did. They
tub. Yeah,
did.
they talked about that. They met their feet quota, so
Oh
there
my
were
god.
feet.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
by the time they made that, the person that had been begging for feet pics was now back to asking the pig to be nerfed.
Well,
And
they were
also my favorite
focused.
thing, yeah, my favorite thing also is every other chat was, everything is so survivor sided. Gosh, everything is so killer sided. Why did survivors get everything? Why did killers get
Mhm.
everything? And I was like, literally, they haven't talked about anybody one upping or having more
I
than the
know.
other. They're showing art for skins.
It's always the same. It's always the same comments and the same at questions and ugh, it's yeah.
It just cracks me up. I'm like, just watch. Like,
I know they're hilarious.
quiet, stop your random typing and pay attention and
Yeah, right? Well, you were talking
enjoy the
about
show.
feet. You missed everything.
Yeah, you missed
Well,
everything.
go rewatch the stream.
And that's not our fault.
No, you do know
Sorry, that
you
was my
can like
rant.
go backwards on the live stream and go back and
Oh, that
Yeah.
is
watch.
true. You can
Go
rewind.
rewind. Be kind. Rewind. Okay, y'all.
Also, just close the chat. just,
Oh,
just
that too.
I don't think I was
like,
looking at chat, so I didn't even.
it fascinates. I always look for the same couple of things. It's almost like bingo, where in my
Mm,
mind mentally I have a couple things where I'm looking for the survivors get everything, killers get everything. Always something about pig,
mm,
then always something about how trash Lady Voldemort is. It's like a little bingo in my mind as I'm
Yeah,
yeah.
watching.
the pig thing is like a running joke at this
I
point
It's
about
like
the
a
think
running
pig.
joke.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had to watch it after the fact, so I didn't even pay attention to the chat because it was not live. But yeah, I always notice the same stuff every time too.
This amuses me. Thank you for coming to my rant about live chat.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Just turn it off.
Help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just close it out.
You can also do that in DVD as well. You can close the chat. You don't have to talk
Yeah,
about
Oh, that
you
is
anything.
don't
true.
have to post stuff
If
in
you don't
there.
have anything nice to
Yeah.
say,
You don't have to tell me
close the
GG
chat.
easy. You could just leave.
Yes, because if you say GG easy, we have thoughts over here about
Oh
you.
boy, do
Oh,
we.
There's judgment.
we're good old Southern ladies.
Mm,
So we start our insults with "bless your heart."
oh, we do.
I'm just saying. No, I was just telling them like every time they say "GG easy," just tell them they have a small pee pee.
Yeah.
That's
It
what we
works.
think. You're compensating.
Because I'm sorry, if you say GG easy in a game that took 25 minutes, like, that's not a GG easy. That's a struggle. So GG easy. Game took you 25 minutes. You're compensating for something. Or you have daddy issues. Or mother issues. All the above.
All the issues.
Listen, I'm not your counselor. I'm just saying. If you're ever compelled to say GG easy, I think you just need to self-reflect and see where that little bit of anger is coming from. Thank you for coming to counseling with Queen Angie.
I love these
I'll
sidebars. They're my
I'll send you a
favorite.
bill.
Yeah, right. The bill will
My
be in
mind
the
wonders, like,
description box.
we're here for the entertainment value.
I think we're ready to wrap it up.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I can do the closeout.
Yeah.
How did it go again? Oh yeah, I got this. We want to wish you. It's only what?
I said it's only episode 34.
I know. I don't even know when I started saying this or like why.
I can't remember. Was it?
It just
in the beginning?
Came out one day. No, I don't think it's in the beginning.
I think we were just saying goodbye, and you just started saying it. It was great.
Okay.
I do apologize if you heard a big slam right now. My cat is trying to lock me in my office, so I might need help.
Nice. All right, we'll send help.
I dropped my phone at one point too, so we'll see what may.
Yeah, we'll see what we discover.
We'll see.
But if you can figure out when Queen started her her ending for us, comment below and we'll send you. I want to say a prize, but we don't have any prizes.
I know, right? We don't have anything to give away.
We'll give you a heartfelt virtual hug and a thank you.
Yeah, maybe we'll mention you in the next episode.
Yeah,
what about a little shout out?
Name drop.
We've shouted out people before.
There you go.
Yeah, let us know. I have a horrible memory, so maybe y'all will know. I know it's like because we finally, I got my Canadian friend Jay, you guys heard of him before, to finally play DVD with us, and before he left for the evening, he did the closing.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. He knows the closing.
I love it. That's great.
He was like, I felt it was appropriate, and I was like, well, actually, yeah, it is. Like, but as we say, we want to wish you a good morning, good afternoon, and a good evening wherever you are. And bye.
Bye.
Bye.